We are live.
Hi. Hello, hello.
Just give it a minute for
Some people.
to filter in. But no, is there any other shows on a Thursday?
No, not on my.
I don't think there is.
Joe says it's because of you.
What's because of me?
That whole not coming in thing, that she can't log in.
She can come in if she wants. I haven't said she can't.
No, but she can't still come in. She's writing.
Well, I can't do nothing about that. That's something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Google's really playing up. I think it must be to do with these big updates because you couldn't get in until, I don't know. Anyway.
I write that we have to check later after the show.
Yeah. But so anyway, hello and welcome to the Wednesday show on a Thursday, oddly. So those of you that turned up last night will know that we had horrific problems trying to get online with the Google app and YouTube, and I could sort of get the Hangout half up and running, but nobody could enter or join it.
Yeah, it was odd.
It was just an absolute nightmare. Full-on stress. Absolutely hated it. It was really horrible. And all the time I could see that there were people waiting in the Hangout. And it was yeah, so it wasn't very pleasant. Fortunately, we've done nothing, but it seems to have corrected itself. Apart from Joe, who was going to come on to do some Q&A, she still can't get on. So I don't know what the issue is there. I really don't. Chris can get on. I can get on. I've tried it with other people. Mixed results. So I really don't know whether it's something to do with that big update that came out recently, which, you know, the Microsoft updates are never, they're a bit iffy. And when they come out, they roll out a big one like that, you know there's going to be some trouble somewhere.
I'm running Linux and I had problems yesterday too, so.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why we're on Thursday. This why we're on tonight and not in our usual spot of Wednesday. We will of course be going back to Wednesday next week. So first of all, some important news that we currently. One of the things we found out last night, well, we didn't find out, I already knew. We've got basically one group, which is the SprueSurgeon page, and then we had the Misfits +1. Now, the Misfits +1 we ended because of issues, and so we renamed that SprueSurgeons Waiting Room. But we found that this causes more problems than it solves, because now we've got a chat group associated with a channel that doesn't exist anymore. I didn't think it would be much of an issue, but I'm finding increasingly that it's getting a bit complicated. I'm getting confused mixing the two groups up, and so on. I mean, I'm not the most intelligent person on the planet, so you know you can see why it's a problem. So the plan is we're still waiting to hear from Dave, but the other two admins have agreed that it's a good course of action, that we merge the Sprue Surgeon and the Sprue Surgeon Waiting Room into one group, which will be attached to SprueSurgeon. So there'll be no more other groups. It would just be one group, and that way it's much easier to follow. Now, one of my main concerns is I don't want to lose any members during that transition. I'm hoping I can do the merge and bring all members along. So I want to ask if there's anyone out there that knows how to do this. Now, bearing in mind, SprueSurgeon is a group, and I think the SprueSurgeon Waiting Room is a page. I think, I'm not certain. It might be a group because it doesn't come up on my list of things, list of groups and that. Because initially it was opened by the two of us. So if anyone knows how I can do that, or the best way of doing that, if they could get in touch with me, that would be great, because it would be really helpful. Failing that, it will be a case of me just sort of merging and then inviting everyone to come over and follow. I don't know how the process will work, but I would like to get feedback from the members, because obviously you guys are the most important element of the channel. Regardless of anything else, without any members, no channel is any good. So
yeah, that would make no sense.
Yeah, so you know, that would be great if we could get some feedback on that. So that's that.
Joe writes that Dave agreed to that. So
yeah. So one of the other topics I want to talk about this week was the astonishing occurrence with Revel and their, I believe, how's it pronounced, Chris? Haunebu.
Hello,
Chris. Oh well, right. He'll be back in a minute.
Hello, I'm there.
All right, you're there.
Yeah.
How's Haunebu? Is it Haunebu? The
Haunebu.
Haunebu. So anyway, as many of you will know, a notice came out that said Revel was stopping production of the Haunebu, and they were going to withdraw it from their shelves in Germany, and that was it, basically. As many others of you will know, all of a sudden people went mad to get hold of a copy of this build, and the highest I've seen at present was for 964 Great British pounds, which is about 1,100 euros, something like that. And that was for a kit that basically retails for £44. And they ranged on eBay from anything from 100 to 1,000. It was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know whether any of them were selling, but I was telling Chris about it. Now Chris actually lives in Germany, and it's been all in the press over there, and I will let him take over the what unfolded after that, and he can give us an insight into what happened over there. Take it away, Chris.
Okay.
You're the man, and I could just put you on screen. There you go.
So basically what happened is that Revell wrote pretty much bullshit on the description on the box of the model. So because they wrote something like that the production started 1934, and from 1943 on they were ready to fly aircrafts which can flew over 600,000 kilometers, but due to the war they couldn't get beyond the trial phase. But then the many historians, and there was a military history museum in Dresden. They complained about it because they said, as far as the historians know, they never ever worked on that unit. So Revell apologized for that, and what they said, it's on the page of the NDR, it's Norddeutsches Fernsehen. They actually wrote that whole story out. And they said, yeah, they apologized from that, and they will change the text on a box. And they say nothing about they will take it from their stock. They just say they will change the text on a box, and they will no accusation of being some Nazis and so on, because they had some troubles with Child Protection Federation in Germany and some other historians and so on and so on. And
So,
that's the whole fuss about.
so somewhere the story got changed from that to we're stopping production and we're not going to make any more.
I can put the link on, and I think there are some people who understand German, or maybe they can, when they don't believe me, they can put it through the translator from Google and they can see it themselves.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it sounds like Germany has a bit of a different outlook on modeling than we do over here. How's modeling viewed in Germany, especially when it comes to historical, you know, planes and tanks and stuff like that?
Some people tend to think or to say about modeling that it is a glorification of war, in special of the Second World War and of course of the National Socialist system. But it's not. It's total bullshit. And I think many historians will agree on that with me.
So they actually view modeling as, crikey, does that mean that
there are some people? Yeah.
Wow, so that's like they're saying that people that build models are I don't know, trying to
glorify this, or to like say, look, this Messerschmitt, this was a big hero. So no, that's just a model on my shelf, nothing more, nothing less.
But why would a country, I don't know, I don't understand why the country, forgive me, but why the country that lost would want to glorify it? Surely
I don't know, because the typical German is I mean, typically the most Germans are pacifistic. Many Germans are pacifistic. So it's not mostly even because of Second World War things, but the whole theme of having war machines on your shelf, having war aircraft on your shelf. This is for someone here, it's bizarre, maybe. Look, wow. I live in a city with 1 million people, and we have only one real store. We have two, but the other one is like, they have like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 good kids, but one real good store.
Wow, that's incredible.
And mainly the store is for model trains. We have a small corner.
Yeah, we've got one of those.
But it's a nice store. They are nice there.
So I mean, that's some interesting news there. So moving on, we've got another group build to announce. This is one that both me and Chris are excited to get behind.
Oh yeah,
I'm really looking forward to this one. I've got to say, really looking forward to this one. Now, we haven't got the start date yet, but it is coming. It's not going to be, would you say it's going to be, would you say it's going to 4 to 8 weeks?
Yeah, maybe
it's, you know, it's coming. It's just coming. So we want to give people advanced warning so that they can go out and buy the kit if they want to. Now, I know this build has already been done on another group. You know, that's fine. It's just I missed out on that opportunity. I want to build this plane again, and it's basically it's the Polycarpov build.
I-16.
Yeah, the I-16 Polycarpov. I don't know. We could open it up to any Polycarpov. That'd make it interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah. Any Polycarpov and maybe any scale.
Yeah, I noticed they've got like they do an I-15.
I-24.
Yeah. Let's do that. So it's any Polycarpov, any scale, and again, do what you want. No rules as such as to you know,
aftermarket, or
you can do whatever you want with the build. The only thing is, you know, as with all group builds, you've got to take a picture of the kit unopened, unstarted, to show at the, you know, at the date or whatever, to show that it hasn't already been built or something. And you know, so if you want to join, or you know anybody that's interested in joining, pop along to the Sprue Surgeon page, which you now can find, thankfully. I know there was a lot of trouble finding the Misfits page, but now if you go into Facebook, you can type in Sprue Surgeon and my page will come up, all one word, and join the group, and I'll put a Polycarpov page up, and we can all add to that. Now then, I will try and arrange some prizes for this. I can't guarantee anything, unfortunately, because I have to provide. I have to try and get all the prizes myself. But I will try and arrange some prizes, and
yeah, we will get something.
We will go from there. I mean, well, you got anything to add to that, Chris? I mean, it's
no. At that point, it's everything okay. Yeah, like we said, open build, like Polycarpov build. Yeah, any Polycarpov. So there are many models to make, from small, tiny ones and to a little bigger ones.
Yeah, brilliant. So meanwhile, the Ford Escort build plods on. As far as I'm aware, there's only me and Dave doing it.
Sorry, I'm not a car guy.
No, that's okay. That's fine. It's just funny. It's just me and Dave doing it. So I haven't done much. I'll be honest. I've not been in the best of health recently. So the shell I've showed you before. Let me just bring this down. The shell is still the same. No further progress from that. I did manage to make some progress with the inner sort of tub. I got the doors on. I managed to tidy up the paintwork. Yeah, so I've managed to make significant progress on that. And obviously, I've got the seats, sorry, and I've managed to get them painted. Obviously, the engine's done. I forget where there is a bonnet floating around somewhere. It's one of those things I've put in a safe place.
Oh.
There is a bonnet floating around, trust me.
Well, I hope for you. Not
I don't know whether I've shown these off already, but I bought a set of belts from Edward. Beautiful belts they are. They're going to look stunning.
I love this pre-painted stuff from them. It looks
far
like
better than the decal ones they've got on.
yeah, totally. I don't believe you could ever paint it like that with a brush or so. Not me.
Yeah, no, they don't. I used them once. I used decals, seatbelt decals once, and they just looked. Actually, was it this one here? I don't know. Oh, yes, it was. So this is the little tiny 143rd Airfix Subaru that I built a while back.
Oh,
A nice little build.
okay. Yeah.
But it had decal seat belts, and the minute you look at them,
No.
you can see.
No, they don't look good. I don't think I would even put them on.
Yeah, they're not brilliant, no.
No.
Apart from that, the rest of the car I felt was a pretty good job. It's got no engine in or anything, but yeah, considering it was an old kit when I got it, it wasn't a new one. And yeah, that turned out nice. It normally just sits somewhere on the. There we go. So that's the build. Obviously, we've got also the Airfix build is ongoing. Sorry, there's been no further development on that. We're still at part 4. I haven't moved any further forward. We're still at pretty much the same situation I showed you last week. So there's nothing more I can add to that at the moment. There will be some more live shows coming out, hopefully this week, and we will get caught up then. So that was the Airfix build. Now we'll zoom over to Cologne, to our man in Germany, and see what he's been, what group builds he's been on.
So I'm at the moment at the 100 years Royal Air Force group build. I'm doing 2 aircrafts. First one is the I show the box, the Revel Spitfire Mark C. I hope you can see it. It's so that's better. So it's a special hobby rebox. I'm pretty much done. Just now I have to prime and put the camo on, and I'm pretty much done. All the little bits are sprayed. Propeller is sprayed. The landing gears are sprayed. So yeah.
Done a good job with that. That looks really nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm still amazed you never snapped them guns.
Not yet, not yet. I said it to you. I have to mask, and we will talk later then. Maybe then. I hope not.
So, have you bought anything this week?
No, this week not.
No. Well, no. I actually managed to buy something this week, and I'm quite pleased with. So, I bought a couple of. So I managed to get. I don't know whether I can disconnect it. I've only just put this together, but I got one of these Hobby Zone. Let me just bring the camera back.
Right.
I got one of these Hobby Zone Sprue holders. So basically, you just. This is one of the easiest ones I've put together. And you just get your sprues,
cool,
and you can pop them like that. And I guess you can put little labels on the back there if you want to. Stick little labels on that you can peel off, A, B, C, or whatever, 1, 2, 3, that they can correspond with. Now, I will say it's brilliant for, you know, this sort of size, but when you get a big 1/32 or even a 1/24 scale Airfix kit, one of these,
Yeah.
obviously it's a different kettle of fish. It will actually hold it just about, but I don't know if I can get that in so you can see it. So yeah, you could probably cut them in half, but obviously it's not designed for that sort of scale. Now the interesting thing is,
That's brilliant.
It comes with 4, I think they're called rare earth magnets, and they are powerful. They go, there's one goes in there, 2 go on the bottom, and 1 goes the other side. So basically, you can stack on top of another one of their items, or you can put them side to side, as I have done with, I've got one just off screen here. Now, I know how powerful they are because when I was building it, I had a stack of rare earth magnets over to the side. Say, they were about here, say. Now, I was here hammering a rare earth magnet in, and all of a sudden, the 2 flew against each other and smacked together in the middle, and then the force of that sort of threw them over there. It was like bizarre. They are so powerful for such a, you know, for such a tiny thing. They really do have a lot of power behind them, and so that was obviously one thing I bought. Now, just moving on, I also got. I don't know whether I've shown. Did I show the Polycarpov last week?
Yes. You did.
I did. Done right. Okay.
Live inbox review with me.
Yes. Did I show this one? I don't think I've shown this one.
I don't know.
So my memory's terrible. Apologies.
Yeah, sometimes.
This came within the last 7 days, I think, and I saw it on Mike Jolly's page on Model Kits for Less, and it's awesome. I just love the flames. I'm guessing they're decals. I might have a go at seeing if I can do that any other way, but we'll see, because that's quite a, I might have to stick with the decals. I'm certainly going to try and do the roof. I love that pinstriping on the roof. You can just about see it, but yeah, I love that. And and then we've got, you can see the detail on the side there. So we've got, yeah, so I managed to get
nice interior.
Sorry?
Nice interior details.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to open it up yet, but I'll give it a review maybe when we get it going. Which reminds me, we've done our first group review, which was basically me and Chris, and we've done a first live review, sorry. So we're hoping to do many more of those. We want to try and keep them where possible to newer kits. The one we've done was just a test to see how people liked it. And, you know, we'll make our decisions based on that. But we're hoping to keep that to maybe newer kits. We'll see. Not really sure at the moment. But so yeah, if you haven't watched it, go and have a look. We reviewed the ICM, the Revel Polycarpov, which is the ICM kit. So it's fairly new because obviously ICM just brought it out, and Revells somehow have managed to.
Yeah, you can still get from both boxings in the shops. I saw ICM ones and I saw Revel ones for the same prices.
Yeah, but interestingly, the ICM logo is on the sprues inside the Revel kit.
It is, it is.
Yeah, it is.
But they put it always on their kits. So actually my first kit as I restarted modeling was this one, the Heinkel HE70. Also an Revel ICM reboxing, and there's also this ICM tab on the Sprue, and it's a fairly older model.
So with that said, that concludes our sort of news and bits and bobs like that. So we'll just get on now and maybe do a bit of modeling and just have a general chat and information. Is there anything going on in the chat, Chris? I haven't had a chance to look.
No, just not really. Some 4 people said hi. So hi to all. Hi to Rob. Hi to Dr. Sprue. And hi to Jan. Jan van der Werf.
Oh, right. So Joanna
And Joanna, of course,
is willing to answer questions if people want to ask. Can you get into the live feed, Joe?
I don't know if
she was having trouble getting into the live feed, so I don't know how we can work this. If she can't get in, people will have to ask her. So I'm coming up.
You have to try a reboot.
Yeah, I'm coming up to a stage now where I think I've got to do the seat belts.
You want to switch the camera?
Yeah.
Of course, it's on mine.
So, yeah, really need to, because obviously the decals are going in on that one. I don't want them. So it's time to take them out. What have we got in here? We got any instructions or something?
I'm wondering if they put some instructions on the seat belts.
Oh, they have.
Really? Who?
I've got to say, when these were delivered, I got these. I can't remember where I got these from, but they were delivered very well, because normally the post hammers out parcels, but they obviously, these came, it's got a little bit of card in there, one piece either side, so they didn't get attached or anything, and then it was in between 2 thick sheets of card that held it like that, and then it went into a padded envelope, which had a rigid back on it as well. So you know, unless somebody really maliciously tried to attack the, you know, then it was good for transport, and it came to us in very good condition. So I'm just gonna see if I can bring up the chat. I need to. There we go. And now I need to make. Oh. So.
Yeah, colorful flash is really, really nice. I love it.
Right, let's just find live links, YouTube. So we need to get these on here. It's fairly straightforward, to be honest. I think that blade's fairly new on there, so I just need to find my bear with me a minute. Somewhere in here is
Okay, she's trying to install Chrome, and she has to try that. Firefox won't work. Edge won't work.
yeah. So hopefully Joe's going to get in and you'll be able to ask us some questions on her builds. I know there's been a lot of interest in them. She does some amazing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, I've built too, this Edward 1/72 scale Focke Wolf.
Right, 2 pieces, original kit parts. So we're not using any original kit parts, I don't think.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
So, excellent. Joe's finally made it in.
Oh,
So just so that everybody knows.
hi.
Excellent. Joe's finally made it in. Oh, somebody's got their.
My fault, Fix.
So anyway, this is to everyone that doesn't know, this is Joanne, and she has. Many of you will have seen her Death Star, not Death Star.
Star Destroyer.
Star Destroyer. She then went on and built an Apache. Am I missing anything out? She done the electronics on the Star Destroyer, and has just done
Titanic.
Did the A10, working on the Titanic now, and
yeah,
also working on the T90.
yeah. There you go. And I mean, Joe's fairly new to the hobby in that these are her first kits that she's built. Her first kit was the Star Destroyer, and it's just amazing that she's took that and run with that and done an amazing kit build. Something that looks spectacular.
Yes.
And she's finally agreed to come on and answer some questions. So if you've got any questions, you want to know, you know, how she'd done her builds or anything like that, now's the time to do it. I am just this minute trying to get through to chat so that I can see.
I'm writing right now. So, but Joanna, maybe you can talk a little bit. Why did you start with modeling, and maybe a little bit on that?
Okay.
How was your approach on your first model, and
When I was
why is it gone so well?
when I was younger, my father was a from scratch balsa wood with plan, nothing cut out, prepared modeler. He was actually quite talented, produced some amazing stuff, but I was banned from going anywhere near it, to say the least. So I never got a chance to do it as a child.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And I just let it go, didn't even think about it. About 9 months ago, I started seeing what people are making, how the hobby's changed, how more inclusive it is. It's not so, should we say, male-centric?
Yes, yes.
So at the beginning of this year, I came into a little bit of money. So I thought, I want to have a go at this. So I started buying probably too much equipment, shall we say.
Yes.
And then I bought the Star Destroyer. It was a birthday present.
Okay.
And I was just going to make it, just have a play, practice on it. And then everybody started going, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you light it up? So I thought, well, stuff it then, I'll do everything. So I just did. I looked at it, decided how I was going to approach it, decided I wanted to go down not the classic Star Wars route. I wanted it to be old, to be worn out, to be damaged.
Yeah.
And then just work from there.
Yeah, it's nice. It's got very, very nice. And I mean, it's for your first model, it's astonishing that it's so. How did you like started right now, or just first looked up how to do this and that?
I spent a week watching YouTube.
Okay.
I just watched model videos back to back, looking at how people did things,
and then done it a different way.
To some degree,
a better way.
I looked at how they approached it, picked out what I thought I agreed with.
Okay.
And then just proceeded. And at the time, it was basically, I don't care what happens. I'm going to have fun. If it gets ruined, well, it's only plastic. Who cares? I'm not hurting anyone. So just get in there, wreck it, have some fun. And if it comes out good, it comes out good.
And it came out fantastic.
Totally.
It has to be said. You've done a blinding job of that. I mean, I've said this to you before, Joe, that mostly if you spoke to any model builder and you said, I'm coming into the hobby new, I've never built a kit before, what do you suggest I build? What you built would not be the top of their list.
I did get that. It was, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You should start off with something simple. And my response was, I don't do simple.
Yeah, that's exactly what that people tell you. You know, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Right.
You shouldn't try. Which is why I loved it when you started building these kits. That people, it's just great. It really is. It's a breath of fresh air that somebody's come along and done something like this. And you're going on to do a lot. You're saying you've got plans for your builds.
Yeah, the current Titanic build is actually a commission. So
wow.
It's for a friend. I despise the model. I really don't like it.
Yeah, you've had some interesting fun with that, haven't you?
That model is a pain, to say the least. But basically, they want it about to crash into the iceberg.
Okay.
So that's going to be interesting and fully lit. So that was fun, drilling 1,000 portholes.
Oh man. 1,000 portholes.
Oh shit.
But the kit itself, it's a nightmare. It is so poorly molded.
It's an old kit, right?
So, I mean, they didn't. That's 1350 Dr. Sprue. It's the Minicraft one.
Yeah.
Don't buy it. Seriously, don't. I know we don't like to slag off bad kits, but the kit is bloody awful.
So,
Minicraft.
yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
The other one I'm doing as a break is the T90.
Oh yeah. You posted today some pictures of the tracks.
Yes.
How is this going further? Is it easy or?
The metal tracks, the Fruity tracks, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Really nice product. I mean,
Okay.
I spent 5 hours processing the plastic tracks.
Yeah.
So they were all lovely, cleaned up, perfect, put them together. And then I made the ultimate mistake, which was too much glue.
Oh, okay.
They melted.
Holy shit.
So I decided, we'll stuff this, get the metal ones, put them on, and see how they turn out. They're actually very, very good.
Because
Yeah, I've
I
never.
was always thinking that it's many hours of work to get them together.
It's less than the plastic.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. I've basically nearly completed.
That's
Basically,
interesting.
each track is about 80 length. My current piece of track is about 53 links long.
Yeah.
Total work time is probably 30 to 40 minutes. Obviously, it's a lot longer than that in real time because I have to walk away because of the Sienna acrylate grooves. The fumes,
Yeah.
they really don't work well with me. But
Yeah, we talked about it.
because you have to, I mean, with the pins, you knock them in, and then you do have to tap them with a bit of glue. But those fumes still come off, and I don't get on with CA at all. But no, I've loved it. I mean, the first one was very simple. Retrospectively, it was just a damaged model with some lights in on a stand. The second two were the actual more fun because they both had dioramas. So that was enjoyable to create.
Okay. Nice. So, Mark, do you have some questions?
Sorry?
Do you have some questions?
How did you, what made you choose the Apache?
I did research, and the reviews all said it was a great molded kit. And detail-wise, I'll give them credit. The detail is beautiful. It really is. It was the Italeri 148 AH64D. And the detail on it is really nice, really crisp. But what they don't tell you is nothing fits properly. There were alignment issues like crazy. So that's why I don't always like inbox reviews, because you don't get to see the truth sometimes. On top of that, yes, the cockpit had amazing raised detail. But the first instructions the first instruction you got was sand all that off because it's wrong. It was the AH64A cockpit detail, and then they gave you these flat decals to put on it. And then they're thinking, I bought an AH64D. I expect to have an AH64D cockpit. But no, you don't. All that raised detail you see in there is garbage. The first instruction is to sand it all off.
Yeah, that's poor.
And the talent's response was basically, well, I won't say the, let's just say F followed by O.
Foreign oranges.
Yes, we'll say that, yes. They would not, their response was basically, this is all we sell, deal with it or go away.
Wow, that's great customer service there from Italy.
It's technically mis-selling, but they won't admit that, obviously, because it makes them liable.
Yeah. When are you ever going to try resin or some of the
potentially? I mean, there is monetary factors to consider.
Yeah.
I mean, resin is quite expensive if you want good stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm not sure yet. I mean, I tell you what I've got. I mean, at the moment in my back catalogue, I have the Tamiya F14.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice kit, apparently. So I'm looking forward to that. I also have the Discovery, the XD one, and for that I have a photo etch and some 3D printed pods to go in it.
Oh right,
that sounds interesting.
Yeah,
yeah.
So that's fun build, but I've been holding off on that because of its price.
Oh right, how much is that?
Practicing on cheap, that's about £233, excluding photo etch and excluding the pod.
Holy shit!
So that's it's back at the moment. So I'm practicing on cheaper kits, these £40-50 kits.
Okay.
Until I'm feeling as though I'm ready to actually go and do that.
Yeah. That's good. That's smart.
I will admit, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's more fun than I thought it would be, especially the painting side. The building side can be tedious.
Yes, yeah. Someone likes more the painting, someone's like more the building. I'm more on the painting side, like building. Sometimes it won't stop. And sanding and
Yeah. I mean, I did love the dioramas, creating concrete, creating tarmac.
Yeah, I've yet to do that. I want to give that a go. I really do.
It's amazing what you can do with cheap polyfiller and a bit of salt.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a go. I mean, we spoke about this last night?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely.
It's really easy.
I mean, the trick with tarmac is once you've got that pattern in place, I mean, the way I approached it, I looked at real tarmac. If you notice the actual tar itself, it flood fills. It runs up the rocks slightly. So it's not rocks with a flat surface. It runs around and settles and coagulates in places. So my solution to that was to take a polyurethane primer. So whichever make you choose, there are 3 or 4 out there that we know of, and flood sprayed the entire thing, oversprayed it by miles, so that it would start to creep up on the holes and creep up on the salt and create the patterning that you get, where you get a flat area, then it builds up and creates that ripple effect that you get in real tarmac. Because you've noticed tarmac is not a rock and then flat, then a rock, then flat. It doesn't do that. It's like a little coating over the rocks.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. It looks real.
Yeah, that was flood filling, and then coming back and using greys and blacks and toning in areas and spray a bit there, spray a bit there, and build the colours and differentiations you go through it, and then placing your model, deciding where it's going to be, and then around those areas where you know it will land, dry brushing a really flat black to create that burnt rubber effect where it's landed.
Ah, okay.
And then the cotton wool trick.
Oh, just
So what-
tabbing it.
No, behind the wheels. You touch the wheels down. Behind
Yeah.
that, super gluing on a strip of cotton wool and then teasing it out to create smoke.
Ah, okay.
When a wheel impacts, if you look at most landings, when they impact, you'll get a burn from the rubber and you'll see smoke coming off the back.
Yeah.
White.
Yeah.
So just putting down a thin strip of cotton wool behind the tyre, super glue that down, and then start pulling up and teasing it out to create a smoke effect.
Ah, cool. I never tried that.
Yeah. Just briefly going back to the Star Destroyer. If you're a beginner and you want to do all that fiber optics, how difficult would that be? Now, I'm aware that you do have electronics training, but for somebody like me that's not really got any formal sort of training, how difficult would that be?
It's very simple. Basically, all you're thinking about is you need to know your input voltage, whatever that is. From that, you just need to know the forward voltage on your LED and its forward current. This is the activation for that LED. Then all you're doing effectively is putting a resistor in front of that LED to act as a current source, effectively. It will actually burn. It's the simplest way of doing it. It basically drops the voltage down.
Yeah.
But it also acts as a blow point. If it overcurrents, that resistor will blow instead.
Right.
That's very unlikely a resistor will blow, especially at the voltages and currents we're talking about. But if you start doing that with LEDs, they can be quite easily damaged. And the formula is very simple. All you're basically doing is taking your voltage, whatever that is, you basically divide it by the forward voltage. Basically, how do I put this in simple terms? We all know V equals IR, yes? Voltage equals current times resistance. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
So you need to know the voltage you want. So if you reverse that, you want to know the resistor you need to use. The resistor is equal to the voltage divided by the current. Yeah? And we need the target voltage, say 3 volts. If you know the forward resistor, the forward current on your LED is 20 milliamps. So it's basically taking that, say it was 5 volts, minus the forward of the actual 3.2 on the, say it's around 3 volts. So basically 5 minus 3, so that's 2 volts divided by, say, 20 milliamps, and that's going to give you around, what's that going to be, 100 odd ohms. And you're done. That's it.
That's roundabout, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, always do them in parallel. Never, ever do them in serial. The problem with serial is the math gets nasty because you have to sum across the whole lot. Also, if anything blows on that circuit,
Then you have to look for this one.
dead. You'll lose the whole circuit. If you do them in parallel, if one LED or one resistor blows, you only lose that one LED.
All right.
So always
So-
do it parallel, never serial, ever.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the old from Christmas, from the Christmas trees, the lights.
Yeah, they're
Back in
all
the days, mostly they were in serial, and when one light was blown off, the whole chain wasn't working.
And they stopped doing it and they started doing it in parallel. Because if one
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You had to unscrew one light bulb at a time until you found the one that had blew.
Right.
That's why serial is so bad. You also, when you start, and if you don't use the resistor, say you have you know your voltage source and it is the same as your LEDs. If you don't put a current load in there, basically any form of load, when it starts up, the current distribution across the LEDs is not uniform. You could potentially have one LED get spiked and blow. By putting the resistor in, even if it's a very low ohm resistor, even 1 or 2 ohms, even if the voltage of your source matches the forward voltage of your LED, you're protecting them. It distributes the load better.
That's right. I have nothing to say to that. Perfect, Joanna.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing you really need to know is...
That's really easy, Mark. It's really, really easy.
Just
when you
solder.
want started it, it's
Yeah. I mean, as long as you can solder, you can do this. And if you can't solder, just get a couple of bits of wire, twist them together, and practice soldering.
right. It's so easy soldering. Oh, it's totally easy.
Where did that go?
I'm not a good solderer, never have been, but I do a good enough job to get the job done. And that's all you need. If that join is solid, you're okay. Now, as for the fibers, well, that's just putting them in place, dragging them back, cutting to length.
I've never done optical fibers.
Yeah, and when I was younger, I used to take things apart for the fun of it.
Okay.
I've been electrocuted so many times on 220 volts, it's shocking.
Shocking. Good joke. Was that meant to be? Oh, dear.
Oh, wow. No, it wasn't meant to be funny, but it was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm an electrician, so I know how it feels.
Yeah, you do jump quite a bit. Yeah. I mean, the worst I used to do was my dad used to bring me home old CRTVs because I used to build electronic stuff, and I'd be there dismantling them, but I'd forget to discharge the capacitors on the CRT.
Oh.
Yeah, 10,000 volts hurt.
That can be very, very dangerous, you know.
Very dangerous, especially for an adult. As a child, you can get away with it a bit, but God, does that hurt.
So just to catch up on chat, so I can now see the chat. So I'm not going to start at the beginning. Actually, I'll go to the top. Rob says, "Are we on tonight?" Yes. Just a moment, we are live. Joanna said, "Evening." Chris said, "We'll check it later." Mark Scale Models says, "Hi, Mark, Rob, Chris, and Joanna." Chris said he's done a system update today. Rob says hi. Chris says hi. Joanna says, Dave agreed. Smiley face.
Yeah, it was about the merging thing.
Yeah, this was about the merging of... if modelling is a glorification of war, then studying history would be classed in the same league, Joanna says. And that was about... we were talking earlier about...
modelling in Germany.
And their outlook, how they see modelling. And it's quite interesting that they see it as a glorification of war. Well, some of them...
Not everyone, but there are many people who think that, yeah.
Rob makes a very good point. All countries lost in war, no matter who you are. It's very true. We all lost.
Right.
Yeah. So Joe says that's very true. Then there's a message held for review. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look at that. Oh, it's you, Chris. You wrote a message and it said, I'm going to show it. So that's in there now. Rob says, I'm not a car guy. Chris says, I don't even drive one. Dr. Sprue came in. Hello, plastic fanatics. Hey, Mark. Hey, Dr. Sprue. Rob B, Doctor. Then some more highs, back and forth. Jan came in. Good day as Wednesday is busy for me lately. Oh, well, if people want it to move to Thursday, we can always do that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jan goes on to say evening all. Then there's some more evenings. And Neo Joe says neobium. What's that, Joe?
Wrong element. I was mistyping. It's
Oh, right. Okay.
The magnet.
About the magnets, yeah.
Oh, yeah, about the magnets, yeah. Dr. Sprue said, yes, magnets have got better over the years. And Joe's gone and said she can't type today to save my life. Another sweet 57 Chevy. That was the Chevy I showed. Joe's still having typing problems. She goes to reboot. Still having trouble with Ed. No Firefox. No trouble. And Jan says, I used my first ever colour photo etch this week. How did that go, Jan? Photo etches, I remember my first time with it. I hated it. I had glue all over the place. It looked like a 5-year-old had been let loose with a box of glue, some cardboard and crayons. It was dreadful. But I'm still learning. And then Jan goes on to say, on my next build, I'm building the 72 scale Edward FW 190 A-5. What's that, Chris?
I've done that one. It's a nice kit.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've done that Profi pack. It's really nice.
Right. Brilliant. Yeah, I think you put underneath whatever. Type in, so yeah, we know what you mean. And more hellos. Chris saying, ask questions, please. And Jan comes back with, what is the reason for life? Always start with the easy ones.
So that was the questions for Joanna.
Yeah, I know, but you just said, ask questions, please. So he did.
Yeah. So answer this one, please.
So true. Always listen to yourself. Most important. Dr. Sprue asking, what scale is it? They will have been on about the...
I think the Discovery or I don't know.
And then as Joe was going on about the Titanic, Dr. Sprue asked what scale it was, and cool, who makes it. Jan said, crap, almost makes you buy a Edward cockpit set. And then Dave drops in. Hello, Dave. Hi, all Sprue Surgeon minions. He goes on to say, Ohm's law, chaps. Sprue, voltage equals something and resistance. I can't remember. And Jan says, I'm a mechanical engineer, not the stuff with the sparks. That's plain scary. Electricity is fun. Well, unless you get 240 volts or whatever, I wouldn't class that as fun. I think the worst shock I ever got was from, I had a flash gun that was playing up, and it had been, it had been on, and I just turned it off at the switch and dismantled it. But there's a fucking great big
capacitor.
Yeah, capacitor in there, and you touch that, and my God, do you get a shock?
Yeah, by shorting it, you're discharging it, and then you get it, and it can hurt. Yeah, I know.
So I don't know. You always need a resistor. Good info, Joanne. 220 volts does more than tickle from experience, says Jan. Oh, yes. Dave Price grown. Exit stage left. He's obviously on about the joke. Amps makes it dangerous. Gases rule. I think I know that is. Having just started modelling, I have built a car and a plane. What would you say is the best group to build? I wouldn't say that any group is the best group to build. If you enjoy building cars, you build cars. If you enjoy building planes, build planes.
Right. That's what
Yeah.
you enjoy.
I've got a wide range of kits that I enjoy. I've got resin soldiers, I've got fantasy figures, I've got alien heads, I've got war planes, Messerschmitts, A10, F-14s, MiGs, and then I've got tanks, T-50. I've got just had the decals here a minute ago. T-54 is it? I've also got main battle tank and other bits. I've got motorbikes. I've got cars. You know, I do not just stick with one group. But having said that, if you enjoy building a specific type of plane, then go by all means, be in that group. Enjoy building that specific type of plane. Nobody should make anyone feel any less of a modeler, regardless of what they build, how they build it, when they build it, or why they build it.
It's your shelf, so you put it on your shelf. So
I still don't know what I like to build. I mean, I've tried one of everything so far.
Well, you're not done a car yet, have you?
No, not a car yet.
And you haven't done a motorbike?
Yeah.
You have done a motorbike?
No, they don't really interest me is what I meant.
Right. You haven't done figures?
Yeah, they don't interest me either.
Lorries?
Lorries, no.
Okay, I'm going to gracefully bow out of that one.
No, I may try a car at some point, but if I did, it would be rusted, wrecked, and about to fall apart.
And anyway, back to the chat. Gross Models says evening all, evening Chris. He says hi to Chris, hi Joanne. There is no correct group. Oh yeah, there you go. Great minds think alike. Not that mine's great, but what is the best setup to start airbrushing? Max is 450.
that you can buy like
for 450. You can have anything you want.
Yeah.
Well, if you're starting airbrushing, again, it's personal preference. I could tell you to go for Iwata, or and then you could go in another group and they will say go with Harder and Steenbeck. Somebody else will say no, don't do any of that. Go and buy a cheaper brush somewhere else. It really all depends on, what you're building can have an effect on it. So if you're just doing figures and you're doing detail work, then a good starting point for me would be to say go with the Sotar 2020, because you can do lots of small detail work and that on the figures.
They all seem to have issues. You've got fixed nozzle where it's screwed in, bloody hard to clean out. You've got floating nozzle like H&S, don't always seal properly. So every airbrush has an issue.
Yeah, to be honest, you won't go far wrong if you buy an Iwata, a Harder and Steenbeck, or even the Hobby. What's that? The series of brushes you can buy from. Oh, can't remember now. No, I can't remember. but ultimately, I'm not qualified to answer your question. In truth, they're
When I first approached it, I looked for a brand name that had fairly good reviews. I saw H&S, I saw Iwata, I saw Pash, I saw Badger, and I went through them and looked at them and looked at reviews online, looking at how they were shaped, how they would fit in my hand, looking for how they described the weight. And then I actually personally chose the H&S Evo Solo because it looked nice, it seemed to fit well, and it was a very fair price. So I think you have to choose based on budget. You have to choose based on how you think it will work with you. And if you can, if possible, see if you can find a way to try and hold it before you buy it.
right. And then we've got Gas's rule then says there's a bit of to and fro between Joe giving advice on that. And then Gas's rule would rather have a shock than having arm at back end of cows in my job, not forgetting that dogs bite. So assuming that Gas's rule is a vet of some sort.
I would guess artificial insemination.
I don't know. We'll leave that one because there's too many possibilities there, and not all of them are good. And Dave Price comments, Jan says £450 will get you a top of the line airbrush kit with money to spare. There you go. What about ships? Yeah, Joe. What about doing a proper wooden ship?
Does anyone have a knife or a gun?
Excellent. So that concludes the. That brings the chat up to date. There's nothing else to say to that, is there?
No, I mean, what I think the person who got me to build the Titanic then wants me to build them a wooden galleon.
Oh, right.
My response was, you could never pay me enough to do that.
They look bloody nice, though, when they're done.
Yeah.
They look amazing, but it's... How do I put it? Wood doesn't interest me.
Yeah. Yeah, there's absolutely no point building something that you've got no connection with.
Why? Yeah.
Yes, I can be quite blunt and to the point, as Rob just said.
But at least you don't bullshit people.
No, I'll say it how it is, basically.
Yeah, I mean, Dave loves his H&S Evolution. I've got to say, the German engine.
I've got an Ultra. It's nice too.
Is second to none. I had a H&S Evolution. I had the CR Plus 2, which was a beautiful airbrush. Don't get me wrong. And the only reason I changed it was I was just getting frustrated with the cleaning of it, and I went for an Iwata. I got the custom Eclipse, I think it's called. It's got a much wider neck in the bottom, and it's much easier to clean. They're both very good airbrushes, but yes, Harder and Steenbeck, brilliant brushes.
Yeah.
Iwata R2. So I mean, there's even the new one from MIG, which looks quite nice.
That's a Badger or something like that.
Yeah, it's a Badger. It's gold and silver, or I can't remember.
Yeah, I saw somewhere in review of that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with H&S, it is the floating nozzle. if you don't clean where it sits absolutely thoroughly, even with the seal down, you can be left with a little gap, and then you get a blowback straight through the actual paint itself. It is so a mess. So you have.
I've got a floating nozzle on the Iwata. I don't have any trouble with it at all.
The H&S do mock up so easily inside. I mean, I love it. Especially
you have to clean them often. Yeah, that's the only problem with them. But I like it.
But I don't know. I think it all comes down. They're all good in some respects, and they're all bad in some respects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has his pluses and minuses.
Yeah. I mean, I've only tried H&S, so I can't comment on the others. Limited.
Well,
I picked what I thought would be reasonable.
Yeah, me too.
Dave Price says wood is a beautiful material. Joanna agrees, but not something I'm into. You should have dropped in with us, Dave. I could send you a link. I don't know. I know you're very busy, so. But if you want to drop in briefly, I can send you a link.
Yeah, that would be cool.
There's the camera at the moment.
That photo actually is looking really nice.
What, this mine?
Yeah.
I've been here an hour, and all I've done is cut that out and put that little.
That's pre-painted.
That's the problem with streaming.
Yeah. No, I painted that by hand.
Yeah, really. Yes, sure. Yeah. I forgot. I saw it last night. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I painted that by hand. My hand's so steady.
With an airbrush, with a rattle can.
Yeah, I've done it with a rattle can. No, yeah, it's really good actually. It's really good photo etch. I've had many bad. No. I'm blaming the tools and the equipment. It's not. It's me. I've had plenty of good photo etch before, but I've completely bodged it up. So I'm taking my time with this. I'm doing it one step at a time, one belt at a time. Before I just went in and cut everything up and spread it about everywhere, and then there'd be a gentle waft of air as somebody walked past and it'll blow everywhere.
Yeah, and it's gone.
Yeah, so I am doing this one belt at a time. I'm determined to improve my game when it comes to photo etch. I bought the book. I don't know whether anybody saw it the other week. I managed to get myself this photo etch book, and it tells you all about photo etch, how it's made, and all about the different tools. And
but the Edward photo etch is really easy to handle because it's they have this when you have to like to bend it, there are always like they etch it to the half, so you don't need this bending tools for them to bend them.
Yeah,
it's really easy.
Gas's roll has dropped out, or he's dropping out. So bye. Yeah, I think if I haven't already missed you, thanks for dropping in. There's a beautiful picture at the back here of a ship that's got all the photo etch on, and it's not been primed yet. But I showed, let me just bring the thing up so I can see what everyone else is seeing. I showed this to Joe and told her how much I loved the look of that, and she called me lazy.
It
I
looks
love
now,
that.
If you're going to put it on, paint it.
but
Yeah,
it looks also
It
that has
does.
something.
It looks unfinished.
to me, that is beautiful, like that.
Yeah, it has something. Because you have to really be perfect in the work to leave
Yeah,
it like that without paint.
yeah. You've got to be top of your game if you want to do it like that. But yeah, okay, I can see Joe's point, but I do like it. I can't help it. I do like it like that.
Now, for me, it's got to be painted. You've got to put the... That's where the fun is.
Right, so Dave's not going to be joining us. He's getting ready to go on holiday, and he's got to go out and water the plants. He's promised the head gardener he will water the plants. I've got to water the plants, I think. We've got I bought a plant that's a little indicator, so that it's the first plant that wilts. When that starts wilting, I know that it's time for watering, and it doesn't last very long as a rule. Anyway, we're wandering off into different realms there, so back on track.
If anyone's asked any questions, you've got about another 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to depart this channel. So if you want to get a question in, now's your chance.
What you got planned tonight then, Joe?
Just relax. I can't go near the model because my nose has gone bonkers over the cyanide.
Oh, right.
Ooh.
I hate that stuff. I really do. I mean, it's burning up inside now.
Ah, Mr. Bobbington's arrived. Hello. You've so I mean now everyone's most of the regular people are in here now. We just offer our apologies for last night. We had terrible trouble. I could get the hangout up in front of me. I couldn't get anyone into it to go live, and then it's just cleared itself. We've done nothing but well, I've done nothing and Chris has done nothing, but it seems to have cleared itself. We will, of course, be back on. Now, we were going to be back on next Wednesday, but somebody has said that they quite like it on a Thursday. So I ask everyone, is that a general preference? Are we all, do we all think Friday nights is better than Wednesday night?
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, let us know. If it is, we can move it.
Thursday.
Sorry?
I thought it was Thursday.
No, it's on every Wednesday as a rule.
No, I mean, I thought today was Thursday.
Yeah, it is.
Friday.
No, today's Thursday.
Okay, I'm just confused because you just said it's Friday.
Did I? Oh, sorry.
I'm getting confused now.
Yeah, no, now you've got me confused. Blinking heck. I don't even know what I've said now. So, I'll re-clarify. We're normally on Wednesday, but somebody said they like it on Thursday. So, if everyone's in agreement, and it's a general opinion, then we can move it to Thursday. Right. That's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Yeah.
I was getting confused because you kept talking about Friday. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I tell you, not good. Eight.
I was there thinking, I've lost another day. I didn't even notice it.
So this was what you were on about, weren't it, Joe, with these little nubs that you get left?
Yeah, they're a pain.
Yeah.
They really are.
I don't have most people have a ceramic tile that they cut this stuff on, or something, a hard surface.
I do it on a hard plastic surface, so the blade don't get dull.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because with this, although it is hard, you can still, it's fairly soft with the knife.
And Mark, the small pieces, I take cellular tape, put it on it, and then I cut them off so they don't fly through the whole room.
Ah, top tip.
Or any tape you have.
Just nip into any DIY store and buy a pack of cheap tiles.
I use, look, I have this, oh, where is it? I use this one. It's a kitchen thing. From plastic. It's hard, but it's not that hard that the blade gets dull. So I can work with that good. I like it.
Use a bit of tape I've got here. This will do. Keep this on the bench ready because it's been pre-detacked.
Yeah, but I don't think that you could rip off the paint from this pre-painted stuff.
No, because I'm going to do it at the back. What you said, put it on.
Yeah, right. And now cut it, then you have them on the strip.
There we go. Works a treat. Well done, Chris. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I have had a couple that have sort of ding and gone off in.
Yeah. I have some pieces flying, or better said, lying in my vacuum cleaner.
Oh dear. Oh no, thought I'd lost it. So, hold on a minute. That is number 8, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to wish you all good night, and I will be leaving you.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on, Joe. It's been nice having you on here, and
my pleasure.
Thank you.
Obviously, I'd love to have you come on here as a regular thing every week.
Well, I can't promise that, to be honest.
Well, as many weeks as you can. It's an open offer.
Thank you. I do get a little nervous, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but we can help you with that. We can work on that a bit. And
all right then. Well, have a good night,
Joe. So
everyone in stream, have a good night. And
yeah.
Watching. Night.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh. I think I'm gonna start priming.
Incredible work.
Yeah, but it's rewarding.
Yeah.
When it's done, it looks good.
I've put, and I haven't used any glue yet. I've put two belt clips on. I don't know if you can see that.
Ooh, yeah.
And I've not put any glue on. I've just managed to bend them
And
over.
they hold it like this. So I wouldn't put glue on it. You didn't because
Well, you know what? I could, if I wanted to, go over the back. But I think in a minute there's another piece going to go on, which is going to seal them off anyway.
right.
So I'm just going to see where we've got to on the chat again, and I think we're coming close to finishing. Dave Price says he's off now. We'll try and pop in while on holiday, but no promises. That's okay, David. I know you're very busy, so
Yeah.
and with that said, have a quick look at what Chris is doing.
Sorry?
Just looking at what you're doing. You're not going to cover that canopy?
That canopy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes off. That's what I was telling you. Wait.
Oh yes, of course.
How
Yeah.
can I do a screen share? So I have the article here.
He
So
does.
I can.
I'll let you tell him.
It was the squadron leader Jefferson Wedgwood who flew this special aircraft often, and he flew it often without the hood because to have a better visibility. So when I'm done spraying it, I take it off. So I don't care if it is masked or not, because I'm not displaying it with the hood. Because I hate masking canopies. Yeah, I started priming the seams to see if I have to do more work. But that does look good.
Yes, it is looking good. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to say thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the show, even though it was a day late and everything else. But we did get it to you in the end. And please think about joining our new group build, the IC, the Polycarpov, and maybe even join the Ford Escort or the 100 years of RAF group build that's currently on as well. There's plenty of time left on all of them, and it would be lovely to get some new people in to that started building some new kits as well. So help us spread the word. Thanks for watching, and we will see you all next week. Don't forget to leave your what your thoughts are on whether to Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. So you got anything else you need to add, Chris?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, well, bye for now.
Bye. See ya.